Welcome, everybody, to Start, Sit, Different Day. It is week 11 here at Club Fantasy. I am Joshua Hudson, filling in, as always, as a guest, co-host, however it is. But guess who is back? Faith is back! Woo! We have an actual host today. No offense, Joe. So we're going to be joined a little bit later by Lightning Round's Britt Flinn. I'm here. Faith is here. Joe is here. We're getting you ready and set for week 11, so let's get it.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Start Sit Different Day. I am Faith. That's a reminder to
your name.
those of you
promise
who
I was
forgot
doing
me.
that for effect.
See, Josh just wants you to think that he's cool like that, but he legitimately forgot who I was for a second. It's okay.
I haven't seen you in so long.
I know, it's been forever. I'm back from an election hiatus, from a hurricane evacuation hiatus. I am on vacation, so you're welcome for being here.
Thank you.
It's great to have you.
I know. It is great to have me. Joe, how are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I like these shows. I don't really have to do much. It's great.
Especially now that I'm back, right?
Yeah, it's even less pressure. I just get to yell at people. It's awesome.
More specifically, you just yell at Josh.
No,
Pretty
I
much,
yell
yeah.
at the people that piss me off, like Keenan Allen.
Hi guys, I'm sure we'll get to that at some point. Josh, how are you?
Oh, I'm good as I can be, I guess. Getting there. There's some stuff that I won't air out on air. That's fine.
Ooh.
That's for later in the
See
year.
later.
Yeah, right.
I just want to state for the record that having gone through a hurricane evacuation, plus then being displaced, plus then an election, every Saturday, I'm like, did I set a lineup this week?
See, that's where this show comes in handy because it reminds you, oh, wait, I have to go set my lineup.
Unless you have players who play on Thursday night.
This is true.
Yeah, it's fine. Who cares?
And then
Fantasy football this year sucks, so it doesn't even matter.
Especially on Thursday.
Yeah.
The sun's going to explode one day, so it doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Though it's worse in MFL because like Sleeper and ESPN or whatever, like you'll still have a lineup. You'll just have started somebody who's not playing or whatever. But in MFL, you have to submit a lineup. And if you have a player in your roster who their team is playing on Thursday night and they're out, and you forgot to take him out of your lineup before submitting your lineup, you're screwed.
I mean, that works with every fantasy platform, so.
I mean, that's true, but at least Sleeper, you can still change things. Like MFL, you have to submit a lineup. Sleeper just rolls with whatever you have.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
So, before we get into these questions, I forgot what we're doing here. It's been forever. But Joe, would you like to tell the people who are hurt?
Yeah, I'll fly through it. PJ Walker's out. Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, questionable. Ingram and J.D. McKissick both out. Zeke and Gus Edwards, questionable. Jamar Chase, Juju, Corey Davis, Judy, officially out. Devontae, DeAndre, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Wan'Dale Robinson, Josh Reynolds, all questionable. Earlier in the week, they said Keenan's trending towards playing, but we all know that's fucking bullshit. Tight end, Jelani Woods is out. Mark Andrews has the Q tag, too. I saw Anthony has a question about that. We'll get to in a sec. Njoku also questionable. My guess is they'll hold out Njoku one more week just to keep him fresh and healthy. And Dustin Hopkins is doubtful, so Cameron Dicker, the kicker, is back in for the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know why he wasn't signed beforehand. He was a great collegiate kicker, so I hope that he continues his career because Dustin Hopkins is not that good. So,
Hashtag Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the kicker.
Okay, Anthony, we'll start with you. Does Isaiah likely warrant a top 6 tight end treatment if Mark Andrews is once again sidelined because of his shoulder, Josh?
Yes. 1,000% yes. He has come out balling. We know how much this offense utilizes the tight end position. The 1 week where Andrews was like supposed to be out, but ended up playing and then leaving early with a completely different injury, likely filled right in, no issues at all. And I think even with Rashad Bateman out, even if Mark Andrews plays, likely has top 12 upside simply because they don't have any wide receivers to throw to at this point. I think you're going to see these tight ends running a lot more spread out wide, these two tight end sets that really act as like multiple wide receivers because both of them are such skilled pass catchers. So if Andrews remains out, yes, top 6, 100%, but I think he 1000% belongs in the top 12 conversation as well.
Joe.
Just name me 6 good, healthy tight ends, and then we can answer this question.
I mean, basically, yeah.
Yes. I mean, fucking Chigoziem Okonkwo is top 6 treatment at this point. Like, tight ends suck. Yes, it's a great question. But yes, he is, because Lamar Jackson only throws to big, fat dudes. And Isaiah Likely is a big, fat dude, let me tell you. That, and he hands off to Devin Duvernay. So, boom. There you go.
What does the return of Baker Mayfield mean for DJ Moore? Is he on the wide receiver 2 borderline this week, Josh?
Baker Mayfield was sent to Carolina to single-handedly destroy DJ Moore's fantasy value. And let's be honest, it wasn't getting much worse, and somehow Baker found a way to make it worse.
Isn't that what Baker does, though? He just finds a way to make things worse?
Jesus.
I was going to say, if we're talking like wide receiver 2 in terms of like if you had like the top 1 receiver from each team would be, you know, the top 32 receivers in the NFL. And then if you took the number 2 wide receivers on those rosters, you have the top 64. DJ Moore actually isn't even in the top 250 receivers in the NFL when Baker Mayfield is the quarterback. It's incredible that he is like arguably top 10 in terms of all around wide receiver skill. And he keeps getting bullshit quarterbacks. And I pray to God that they trade him next year, or he leaves, or he bitches and wants out of his contract and gets to a good team. Because if there's any quarterback that just looks his way 15 times a game, he is a 10-catch, 100-yard, 1 touchdown guy every single game because he's open on every route that he runs. It is absurd. His quarterbacks just don't throw to him. And Baker Mayfield
what makes it worse, this is a good matchup this week against Baltimore. Like, their secondary has had plenty of holes in it. But they're starting to get more pressure now, which is only going to make things worse for Baker behind a kind of subpar pass blocking line. Like, I want to start DJ Moore this week. I'm starting Paris Campbell over DJ Moore this week.
Fuck you. I'm starting Darius Slayton over DJ Moore. Go ahead.
There you go.
That's
another guy that nobody was looking at the beginning of the year that we're starting over someone that supposedly Baker was supposed to unlock this year. Yeah, he's kept those keys hidden through them, like everything. Just, nope, nothing. Yeah.
Find the analogy. You got it.
Yeah, just not working.
You got it. Find it.
Not at all.
Yep.
I disagree, Wendy. The Halloween commercial is easily my favorite, where they're trick-or-treating and he just hauls out the nacho cheese and just pumps nacho cheese into these kids' bags.
The commercials are the best part of his. The commercials are the best part of his career.
Pretty much.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris says in PPR he has Jamal Williams as his RB1. He needs an RB2 and a flex out of Swift, Drake, Gus Edwards, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Adam Thielen, and also should he start Justin Fields or Joe Burrow? We'll start with the quarterback question because
it's Fields. Next question. The next question.
There's only 3 quarterbacks right now that I'm starting over Fields, and while Burrow is close to that, he's not quite there yet.
There's one, and his name is Josh Allen. I'm starting Fields over every single quarterback.
You would start him over Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts too.
Okay.
I'll give you Hurts because he's not running near as much. But Patrick Mahomes?
Look at me. He's had 65 fucking points each week the last 3 weeks. What do you mean am I starting him over Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes doesn't run for 700 rushing yards in a game. Justin Fields
No, he just throws for 700.
Yeah, but 1 point per 10 yards or 1 point per 25. I'm going to take the 1 point per 10 and the bonus over 100. It's not even close. Chris, it's a fair question, but for everybody, Justin Fields is not a good NFL quarterback. He is a cheat code at quarterback because he is simply a running back. That is all he is. He is a running back that occasionally finds a fucking bad tight end 20 yards downfield for a touchdown. That's who he is. That is it. Justin Fields is a running back, and they are running an offense that I said in the offseason they should run the whole time because he can't throw. He makes good throws on occasion. But overall, you look at Justin Fields and say, that's a bad quarterback. There's a lot to work with. But they're running him. That's all you want. Burrow is not getting 150 rushing yards. Burrow needs to throw for 450 yards before he even hits Justin Fields' points in terms of yardage. Not even close. It is Justin Fields.
There are 2 Britt Flinns.
There are 2 Britt Flins. I think the one on the right is the right one.
Hi, Britt. Welcome.
Morning. How are you
Good
guys?
morning. Good. How are you?
Good.
Sorry for the mix-up, Britt.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I was like, I haven't heard back. Like, I guess he found somebody else. I'm going to sleep in today. Like, yeah. So I was just snoozing away.
Well, you came in on the Justin Fields rant, so.
Joe said it earlier, and this is a perfect example to say it again. Joe, how do you feel about Josh this morning?
What did I say? I completely forgot what I
Check
said.
the private chat.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I said fuck you. That's what I said. That's all I've said in the private chat this morning. It's just fuck you. So.
I mean,
So
morning vibes.
Yeah. So back to the question.
for what it's worth, I have both Josh Allen and Justin Fields on my Scott Fishbowl team, and for the last 3
Congrats.
weeks, Justin Fields has outscored Josh Allen by at least twice, plus some. So
Just
Well,
saying.
Scott Fishbowl scoring is definitely different than
Yeah,
almost everything.
I agree. However, I mean, you can't tell me that Justin Fields isn't scoring at least close. Like, you can't
I
tell
don't
me it's
know,
just an
man.
anomaly.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying. He's the QB2 right now.
Yeah, I mean, you still go Josh Allen over Fields,
Yes.
but this week Fields has just a primo matchup. He's just
He's got
gonna
a
do this
primo
whole-
like me
matchup
and
the
have
rest of
both,
the year.
then you
Yeah,
don't have to worry about
Yeah,
that.
his rest of season schedule is
Yeah.
just
Okay. Let's go to Chris's
Okay,
question before he
back-
gets angry.
Yes, back to RB2 and a flex. DeAndre Swift, Kenyon Drake, Gus Edwards, Valdez Scantling, Adam Thielen. Pick 2, Britt.
let's see. You can't start Swift, so I'm ruling him out. Edwards if he plays, and then I mean, I'll probably go Thielen because Anthony Brown's out, likely with a concussion, just leaving Diggs, and the rest of that secondary is just very mid. Man,
Mid. Nice.
I mean, it's true, and I'm saying this as a Cowboys fan. Don't like it. I think that game is going to be a crazy back and forth. So shootout potential with Thielen there. I can't trust MVS with Tony, so I'm going to go with Gus Edwards and Thielen.
Joe.
Drake and Gus Edwards are garbage, and DeAndre Swift is good. He's just, might get 3 touches, and you just pray to God one of them's in the end zone, which he's been pretty good at this year. I'll go MVS. I don't like Thielen. I think that he's the obvious deep threat there. No Mecole Hardman. Juju's out, so I'm chilling with MVS.
Josh.
Thielen for sure, because MVS is a wind sprinter.
All exercise team.
Yeah.
All right,
If
you guys are
Edwards
wrong.
plays, I'll probably lean him, even though I do like Drake more from a PPR perspective. But Edwards will get 60 yards and fall in the end zone twice, so it kind of negates the PPR side. So for me, it's Thielen, Edwards. If Edwards doesn't play, Thielen and Drake. I just right now it's just so hard to trust Swift. It's pretty clear that he's not 100% healthy, and they're limiting his touches as a result of it. and it's just really hard to bank on the high efficiency.
Chris, I don't know how often you watch this show, but just you know who tends to be right here between me and Josh.
This is Joe's humble way of saying listen to him and not Josh, because he's usually more right.
Yeah.
But Joe's too humble to say that, so I'll just inform you in case you guys haven't been around for a while.
Most humble man in the world.
He's the most humble man on this show right now, only because Ryan Weiss isn't on here.
Correct.
Facts.
Cesar just wants to tell you that he got Jamar Chase off waivers this morning.
Whoa.
Dang,
Bravo.
Who dropped Jamar Chase?
I honestly.
I'm trying to think of like a joke.
It's got to be a league with like very short benches and no IR. Like that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, yeah. So hold on, let me think. Top 3 receiver in the NFL, short bench, no IR. Yeah, let me definitely drop him. Drop him. Yeah, no. Smart. What? Shut the fuck up, Josh. That's a dumb thing to say. I'm dropping Jamar Chase. Yeah, hold on, guys. Justin Jefferson's out with an ankle injury. Let me drop him. No.
I've seen stranger things happen. I'm just saying.
I'd be curious to know who else that person had on their roster.
Don't care.
That they chose over Jamar Chase.
It's wrong. All of it is wrong.
Unless.
Nope.
Shut up and let me finish, please.
You're wrong. It's wrong.
Unless it's some sort of like vampire league where the person who owned Jamar Chase was eliminated. So now Jamar Chase hit the waivers.
Incorrect. I don't care what league it is. I don't care what league it is. You could have.
I'm right.
You could be allowed.
That possibility.
You could be allowed.
Eliminated, and you have Jamar Chase.
False.
It doesn't matter because if he hits waivers, because you're donezo.
False. It doesn't.
See,
no.
Britt shaking
Wrong.
her head.
Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Britt shows up in the morning.
Yep.
Jamar Chase, really? What are we doing? Why would stop making excuses for dumb people? Like, no, sorry.
I'm not saying
the only thing I can think of is
she dropped Chase for Robbie Gold. Fuck this. I'm out. What are we doing?
She was in first place. Okay. It's his work league.
What are we doing?
In first place.
Oh my goodness.
She dropped him for a kicker.
What are we doing?
Other kicker.
What are we doing?
Oh,
what are we doing?
That's
Yeah.
pain.
She's about to not be in first place anymore.
Was that an accident?
No. She was like Robbie Gould, the kicker 22 on the season. Might I mind you? He's not even startable. The kicker 22. She was like, that guy. Yep.
Oh,
kicker
man.
22. He has scored double-digit points once this year. Once. San Francisco doesn't even fucking kick. He had 5 made field goals through 4 weeks of football because they don't kick.
Oy.
Shut up, Kevin.
I was Josh, let me do my job.
I didn't touch that.
Joe.
No, that was me. That was me. I had to go immediately.
Also,
we love Kevin. He just likes fucking with us on this
What up,
Kevin thing.
Yes.
I mean, hey, maybe.
At women of _FF, there's plenty of women who can help her out.
Holy God. Yeah.
with her
Follow
Yes.
Britt. Follow
At
anybody.
Stepmom Lauren,
I'm-
at Liz
I'm-
Loza,
I'm not going to lie to you.
FF Ball Blast, at Ball Blast M,
I-
at Kelly and Phoenix. Pick one. Follow all of them.
You could follow.
You could follow me, and I could have told you not to do that.
You could follow you follow like Kendall Jenner, and she could give you better advice. So
Probably not. Let's not be
Holy
that. Let's not go
goodness.
crazy, Joe.
okay,
All right. Tanner would like you to put these RBs in order for rest of season in full PPR. Travis Etienne, Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook, and Arham Stevenson Britt.
This is tough. I mean, they're all kind of in that same tier for me. I think I'm going to go Etienne number 1. I really like what he's been doing, especially with the PPR aspect. Then it's going to be Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, and Stevenson for me. But ETN, I think, has RB1 upside the remainder of the season. He's going to absolutely crush it. Love that kid.
So, Britt, you're going in listed order.
I'm swapping
Is
Cook
that
and
Luna,
Mixon.
Joe?
Can you hear her? Yeah, she got away. Yeah, Britch just flipping
Okay.
Cook and Mixon.
Joe.
The disrespect to Ramondre Stevenson.
I said they're all about in the same tier. Like they're all really close.
The disrespect. Ugh, the disrespect. I have Stevenson at 1. Sorry, I don't know if that's bias or anything like that, but
yeah, that's bias.
That's not bias.
Okay, but see, hold on. Joe may be a Patriots fan, but Joe is also the first person to talk shiz when we are trash. So that's not biased, because if we're trash, he'll say it.
Well, we are fucking trash, and Ramondre Stevenson's the only good part of the offense. So,
see?
What do you mean? Dump off Jones is going to look at Ramondre Stevenson the whole time. And of all of these guys, I mean, Cook's probably the best pure runner, but no one is breaking tackles like Ramondre Stevenson. He's shifty. He's incredibly agile. He'll run over you. I love Stevenson. It might be biased, but he's one. Fuck, I guess ETN too. It just hurts me. I don't think James Robinson should be the running back in Jacksonville. It never should have been ETN. But they shouldn't have drafted him at 23. It was a wasted pick. It was a wasted fucking pick. They shouldn't have done it, and it's not going to help them get better. Sorry.
The way that he's played this year, it shows that he was the right pick because homeboy's fucking good. So I don't want to hear it.
Hey, that's great. Adrian Peterson and all his Super Bowls can tell you how good a running back is for your team. Joe Mixon and Dalvin Cook. I'll probably go Cook and then Mixon.
Josh.
ETN, Stevenson, Mixon, Cook.
All right, that's fine.
It's very dramatic in here.
That's
with Mixon, it's inefficient volume. You're hoping he falls into the end zone. He's not going to have another 5-touchdown game. But
you're telling me he's not going to have 55 points every week?
No, definitely not.
Oh.
I will say I do like Dalvin Cook's schedule the rest of the season, so this could very easily be Cook over Mixon. But the way that this offense is going, it's still going through Justin Jefferson. Like Cook is just an ancillary piece at this point. He's not a featured role like the way that Mixon is getting the volume in Cincy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Easter egg surprise word of the day, ancillary. Josh, why don't you tell the people what it means?
Don't ask me definitions of words. I hate this shit.
Well, you shouldn't use words if you can't give a definition of it.
It's a key cog.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Look,
Josh doesn't know. There you go. You want the exact definition? Providing necessary support to primary activities or operation. There you go.
Oh, basically what Joe is.
All right, click the wrong thing. Me typing back here. Okay. Sorry. Here we go. Now we're moving.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Mr. Scampers wants to know what Kenny Galladay's
bad.
Yeah, non-existent.
Bad.
Okay.
A check casher.
Bag boy.
A thief.
There you go.
All right, then. Sean needs an RB2. Swift or Jaylen Warren?
Please, God, no. No one say Jaylen Warren.
I don't even know who that
is.
I honestly wouldn't be shocked if he outscored Swift this week, but I mean,
we're
not going to play cute games.
Thank you.
Yeah. But that said, I wouldn't be surprised if Warren outscored him, but Swift's health just isn't where it needs to be at this moment, but you've still got to start him. You can't get cute.
I think his health is fine. I think Dan Campbell is just like, meh, we're going to make a Super Bowl run, so we want DeAndre Swift healthy for the rest of the year. So obviously we have to, only play him 7 times a game. It's Swift. Yeah. Do not, this is like a little too cute. Like there are situations like DeAndre Swift can be sat. This is a little cute.
Yeah, this is Swift. I agree with Britt. I would not be surprised if Jaylen Warren scores more than Swift this week, but all this talk during the bye week that Warren was going to be the starter over Najee and really take over. And, yeah, that didn't happen. So just let's stop with the coach speak and not get too cute. Warren is worth rostering. He's not yet worth starting, especially over Swift, because of what we know Swift can do with the football in his hands.
Najee still couldn't get 100 yards though. Only got 99. Idiot.
Yeah, it was such a bummer. I'm like, he's finally gonna do it. He's finally gonna do it, and then gets
Nope.
1 yard short. Like,
He's
man,
got 99 problems.
And the 1 yard is
clearly
one. Yeah. Well, he actually has 5 problems, and it's his offensive line. So
Facts.
yeah, garbage.
the 6th being Matt Canada.
Wendy wants to know Drake or Damian Harris. I mean, I don't know how well Damian Harris can rap, so I'd go with Drake.
Yeah, I'm mad at Drake because of the Taylor Swift slander. So
I don't
I'm
like
going
Taylor
Damian
Swift.
Harris.
So I don't like Taylor Swift, so I would side with. Although
Wait,
I missed that drama.
Did the actual Drake have Taylor Swift slander, or did Kenyon Drake slander?
I'm
No.
pretty sure the
It was
actual Drake,
Okay.
Joe.
I'm lost.
You really
girl-
did not keep up with the analogy here, did you?
Nope.
No, I did, but then I was like, okay, maybe Kenyon Drake did say
So
something.
Brett was leaning into it. It's not hard to follow.
I thought I'm like, oh my god, maybe Kenyon Drake did say something stupid about Taylor Swift. I don't know. All I see is Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster. That's been my entire Twitter timeline for a week. So
Yeah, and how she just blew up Ticketmaster, and how Ticketmaster canceled the regular sale because the pre-sale was like A, broke Ticketmaster, and B, there was like almost nothing left after that. So,
well, what are you gonna do? I probably Drake. I don't even think Damian Harris is like, he's like 5 carries a game now. Reminders that is Reminder Stevenson's backfield and nobody else's. So it's all him. I would go Kenyon Drake simply off of sheer volume.
Yeah, I will say the one good thing that's come out of this weird switch from McDaniels as offensive coordinator to the Patriots to whatever this is between Patricia and Judge calling plays, it's been the ascension of Ramondre Stevenson and the fact that there's like one running back to trust in New England now. I think Damian Harris is basically done here. Again, worth rostering in case something goes wrong with Stevenson, but he's not in this like timeshare split anymore that has been the go-to route for the Patriots recently. Give me Kenyon Drake.
Real quick, in Dynasty, if you want to acquire Damian Harris, I don't think it's that bad. If
he's moving on next year.
He's moving on next year. And Josh Jacobs' contract is up in Vegas. So if McDaniels wants to bring him into Vegas, he's probably going to bring him in as the RB1 and just run it back. Damian Harris and Brandon Bolden, run it back, baby. You're still going to suck, but at least Damian Harris will have like 35 touches a game because that's how Josh Jacobs is trending.
What if we swap Damian Harris for Josh Jacobs?
It'd be a bad move, but I'm just saying. Like,
I still think that's what's going to happen. I think McDaniels is going to bring Harris to Vegas.
Yeah, I think so too. So I think right now, if you want to acquire him in Dynasty, he's probably a pretty cheap buy. If you have him in Dynasty, like myself, wait for him to sign with the Raiders and then sell him for like a 2nd round pick if someone's an idiot. So that's what you try and do. But yeah, I think Harris is a good, very buy low guy right now because you're going to get rid of something that probably won't turn into anything great. And Harris has some fairly decent upside in Dynasty. So
speaking of low, Joe.
Low? That's really Faith for calling Manscaped low? Jeez.
I never mind. I was going general region.
How many wiener and nut jokes can I make with 2 women on the show? That's my question. Okay. That's my question. Right.
Well, if there was one more guy, Britt could say that we're on a show with a dick and 2 balls, but there's only one guy.
I have my read. I have my read. Britt, you Fayetteville, Arkansas, correct? Is your whereabouts?
Yep.
Correct. In Arkansas. Who is your number 1 wide receiver coming into this year's draft?
Wait, Treylon Burks?
Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
Heck
okay.
yeah.
I'm like currently?
No,
last
not
year?
Currently. Definitely not currently. And what does he do? What does he hunt with his bare hands?
Wild hogs.
Hogs, baby. You want to make your hog look really good? There's my segue. Okay? Thank you. You want to make your hog look really good? Code well, off the dome. Do not show this to corporate. I don't even know what's going on. But Make your hog look good. Okay. Use
Oh
the
my
code
God.
Club Fantasy for 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com. I did officially try the Lawnmower 4.0, and I have to say the one thing that I did notice was it doesn't feel as rough as the previous electric razor I was using on my rainforest. So it did. So one of the things they tell us is, mention some of these things. And one of the things that I noticed on one of their bullet points as I was looking through, reduce the chance of like getting nicked or, potentially getting nicked down there. I did not feel like once. I didn't have the protective blade on because I was getting down pretty much to the bear hog. And I did not feel at any point like I was going to. This is a read from Manscaped, Mike. Welcome to the show.
We have sponsors. We have to pay bills now.
We do. Yes, we do.
We've always had to pay bills. Now we just have help paying them.
Yeah.
Now it's not coming out of my pocket.
Yes. The Lawnmower 4.0, like I did not feel at any point like I was going to get nicked or I was, I guess, unsafe at any point. It felt very comfortable using it comparative to a brand I use on my, like I use them for like my mustache and like beard trimming and stuff like that. It's Phillips. They're a fantastic brand up top, but I did not feel good about the brand downstairs. Manscaped by far felt super good, was not aggressive, very clean, absolutely loved it. So, yep. Protect your hog, make it look good. Manscaped.com, Club Fantasy for 20% off and free shipping. Throw that in my top 2 one-liners of all time, and it's definitely not number 2. So,
Britt, I think next season we need to work on like a sponsorship from like Kotex or like some sort of like tampon brand.
Yeah, just even it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank God you said what brand that was, because I had no fucking idea what that was. No idea.
Clearly, Maggie does not ask you to go shopping for her.
She's Kotex. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Sorry.
Lord have mercy. Anyway, now that that's taken care of, Kevin has a real question. In a PPR, is it Marquise Hollywood Brown or is it Brian Robinson season, Britt?
Man, I'm all in on Robinson and Gibson for that matter against Houston. I think both of them are going to absolutely crush. And I can't really trust Brown coming back this week. I honestly don't think that he plays. I don't think that he's ready yet. But even if he does, I can't trust that target share now that Hopkins is back in the lineup. I think his target share is going to fall way off. And we've seen the emergence of Rondale Moore. And they're playing against San Francisco, who's notoriously been bad against slot receivers. So I think Moore takes away a lot of that work. Robinson's going to smash against Houston. I think you could start him with confidence.
Joe?
I like Robinson too. I don't see at least Brown wasn't on Ryan's injury list, so I don't know. Like a good point to Britt. Also, I'm pretty sure Stanford doesn't have Emmanuel Mosley anymore, so DeAndre is going against their like DB3. So talk about Rondale Moore going against someone even worse. Yeah, it seems to be a one-trick pony as the wide receiver 1. I think Josh talked about it on Wednesday's show. The X is the guy for Kyler Murray, and the X is DeAndre Hopkins. And with Zach Ertz out, Rondale Moore is going to occupy more of the middle. I don't know where Marquise Brown fits in. He's probably, a deep threat on maybe a couple of decoy plays from DeAndre Hopkins, but Houston sucks. Go with Brian Robinson.
Josh.
So the reason that Hollywood wasn't on the injury report was because he's technically still on IR. The Cardinals they've opened his practice window, but they have not officially activated him yet. And
Gotcha.
This is the issue here with Brown, and I mentioned this on Wednesday. Because the Cardinals play on Monday, we probably will not know Brown's status for Monday until Monday. So when you're considering, a lot of these Sunday guys, you're banking on whether or not Brown is going to play. I'm going to play it safe, especially because you have someone like Brian Robinson, like as Britt mentioned, has a really good matchup. Houston is dog shit against the run. They are the absolute worst team against stopping the run and yielding fantasy points to running backs. So you have a safe option. I would go ahead and I would play that. But to your guys' point about Brown, because of the Zach Ertz injury, Brown is still going to see plenty of targets. It's not going to be the same type of volume that it was in the beginning of the season without D-Hop, but Moore's going to work the middle, and then Brown's going to be on the outside with Hopkins, and I think Hall's going to be fine because you still have the top 3 options in the passing attack.
Yeah, sure. What the heck?
Did it not work for you? I can bring it up.
No, I did, and then it disappeared.
I got you.
Thank you very
It's
much.
Sabotaging me. Yes, thank you, Cesar. For those of you who haven't seen it, the first inaugural episode of Her Story in the Making, hosted by the lovely Britt Flinn, for Women of Fantasy Football, powered by Fantasy Alarm, thanks to Howard Bender and the lovely folks at Fantasy Alarm for making that happen. That aired this week with her guest, me. So it's kind of like a repeat.
Whoop whoop.
I know, twice in 1 week. It's awesome.
I know. I know. And these guys
got
are just
Josh
lucky to
twice,
be with
like-
us.
Yes.
I mean,
Josh twice isn't that great.
No,
Josh
it really
once
isn't.
isn't that
I just
great.
brought down the quality of your show, Britt. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. It was a blast.
I mean, Joe can attest. It's okay.
Yeah, I
that's
hate
why I
him.
said Josh. Joe said Josh twice isn't that great. I said Josh once isn't that great.
Yeah, I hate him. Terrible guy.
Big schmuck. Donald Trump's hair,
What a great name.
whose avatar is the Target logo. Interesting.
Big target guy.
Big Target guy. Target. In half PPR, he's got Mahomes, Mixon, Aaron Jones, Mike Williams, and Amari Cooper. Does he flex Garrett Wilson or Gus Edwards? Also, I guess this would define on who you're playing. Would you trade Edwards and Cooper for Foreman and Brown? His bench is Jeff Wilson, Rashad, and Thielen Britt. Let's answer the trade question first, because that would determine who he's starting. So would you
Yeah.
trade Gus and Cooper for Foreman and Hollywood?
I don't think so. It feels like a real lateral move and just kind of unnecessary. And Cooper's still that number 1 in that Cleveland Browns offense, albeit he's not been incredibly consistent, but I still like him over Hollywood. I like Gus over Foreman. So yeah, I stand on that.
Judging by Joe's aggressive head shaking, he also would not make that trade.
Yeah.
To me, you don't need a running back, so there's no reason to get Foreman back. I would just try and trade Gus and Cooper for 2 receivers, or just trade Gus Edwards for a receiver. You have Jeff Wilson, who is the RB1 in Miami. Rashad White, who is now literally announced as the RB1 in Tampa Bay. Mixon and Aaron Jones. Like, I don't think you need a running back. You definitely need receivers. And Hollywood Brown is way lower on the depth chart to me right now than Amari Cooper is. So I don't like the trade at all. I wouldn't do it. I'd go try and find 2 better receivers to trade for Gus and Cooper, or just trade Gus Edwards for a middle of the road receiver.
Josh.
Yeah, I'm not making that trade. Just like Britt said, it's a lateral move. I mean, I do like Foreman. I think he's going to have a good rest of the season. You know, you don't really know with Gus just because of the health issues, and he's kind of been in and out of the lineup as is. But when he does play, he's almost a lock for at minimum 12 points. Like 6 and a touchdown feels pretty good every single week because that team's just going to run the football. Hollywood's such an enigma right now because with him playing with Hopkins, we just really don't know yet the target share. Like I said, I think it's still going to be fine. It's going to be a little bit lower, but he's not going to have that, top 5 upside that he had in the beginning of the season. It's probably top 20, maybe. And I still feel like you have that already with Cooper. So it's a lateral move at that point.
Okay, now to the flex question, since none of you are trading him away. Garrett Wilson or Gus Edwards in half PPR, Britt?
I think I still like Garrett Wilson over Gus. I mean, like Josh said, he does have those health issues. We don't really know how that split's going to be between him and Drake. Wilson has just been a stud. I mean, I know he's got Zach Wilson throwing him the football, but he's still shown that he can make those big plays. And I like that pass catching ability to give him a little bit of the edge in half PPR too.
Joe?
if Garrett Wilson sees Miles Bryant or Jalen Mills for a play, he gets more points than Gus Edwards. So that's what I'm going off of. He torched New England in their last game for over 100 yards. I think the adjustment is probably made now that they're probably going to put a little more focus on Wilson. They'll just let Tyler Conklin run wild. Who cares? But I think Garrett Wilson is probably going to be locked up a little more than before. I'll go Gus Edwards just because I think he has a chance to fall into the end zone. That's my only reasoning.
Josh.
Honestly, this question might get answered for you because Gus is questionable and there's a chance he may not play. So obviously if he's ruled out, Wilson's your guy. With it being half PPR, I do tend to lean more towards the running backs. The narrative is always, oh, well, this person lit them up the first game of the season. They'll do just fine the second game. It doesn't always work that way. A lot of times, defensive coordinators, they figure shit out. It's like, oh, what happened? Well, all right, we got to key in on this guy. And I know a lot of that back and forth with Garrett Wilson and the big pop against New England was in garbage time. Let's be honest. They're probably going to get ahead this time too. Because the Jets offense with Zach Wilson is just, they're just going to run the football. That's what they're trying to do. They're going to try to run and play good defense. So, and keep it close. And I think if they're able to do that against New England, it's going to limit Garrett Wilson in that instance. I don't think he's going to have that 8 for 100 game that he had before, but I don't think like 4 for 70 is out of the question either, which still I think is kind of So I would lean Edwards there in the hope that A, he plays, and B, he falls in the end zone a couple times because it is the Panthers and they suck.
They're fucking bad.
All right. Tristan would like to know if you would trade Fournette, Gabe Davis, and DJ Moore for DeAndre Swift and Jalen Waddle. Britt.
I think that's a little steep. I mean, no, I wouldn't do that trade. It's just Gabe Davis alone. I mean, I don't know. And I think you're trying to do too much with this trade because, like we've talked about Swift early on in the show, he's not really getting the snaps or the carries that we want him to see. If you want Waddle, I mean, try just trading for him. But yeah, I don't think I would do this. Joe, what do you think?
So that was my original thought when I saw them. Like, too much. It ain't too much. You're getting the two best players in this trade by far. Waddle will outscore Gabe Davis and DJ Moore after 1 week of play, and Gabe Davis and DJ Moore play 5 weeks combined. So you're getting, to me, you're getting the two best players. And also, like, I think we're thinking of maybe the Fournette that was middle of the season a little bit. I just looked. He played 29% of the snaps against Seattle. It is Rachaad White's backfield, and we all know if Brady likes a guy, dude's not leaving the lineup. So it is Rachaad White's backfield. Gabe Davis is 3 catches for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, or 1 target and a drop for nothing. And DJ Moore with Baker Mayfield is useless. Jalen Waddle is unbelievable. And I get it, DeAndre Swift's health is a question. He had 7 receiving yards, 7 rushing yards. He still found the end zone. This dude is good enough to just find the end zone. I do it easy. I think I do it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't think Baker's going to play the rest of the season. I mean, PJ Walker got hurt last week, and that's why Baker's back starting this week. I think when Walker gets healthy, he'll come back and start, and DJ Moore will be fine. But you're basically giving up the boom bust potential of Gabe Davis for the consistent boom potential of Waddle.
Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. Like Fournette, Swift, you could say it's pretty on par just for, Fournette is now hurt, losing some of the snaps to Rachaad White, and it may end up going that way the rest of the season. So like right now it feels like you're capitalizing on the Fournette of old, which for me, I'm all for. Like I would make this trade just for Waddle in all honesty, because I just think he's that good.
I will add to, I know it feels weird. We're talking about like DeAndre Swift isn't getting a lot of snap percentage. He had more snaps last week than Leonard Fournette. So, and he also found the end zone on 7 touches. He's just that good. He had 6 carries for 6 yards against a decent Chicago defense, but found the end zone. He had 3 targets too, caught one of them. Like, he'll get you points. Leonard Fournette's not getting you any more points. That's why I do it. It's
That's
tough.
fair.
My original thing was like, that's crazy. No, that's too much. But yeah, thinking about it, you're getting the 2 best players in that deal, and I think that's not even close. And go pick up Darius Slayton off waivers. He'll do better than Gabe Davis.
Yeah. I actually really do like him this week.
He's in my fucking lineup, baby. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. I think I picked him up in Scott Fish too. Let's go. And I also picked up Ben Skoranek and Van Jefferson in every league I could, just to see which one is the actual person that's going to get the targets. So,
Yep.
Skoranek.
I've
Just
got
for-
I've
Skoranek
Yeah.
in the
Your
Kings
project?
Classic League, so
Yeah.
I'm fingers crossed on him
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
Is that is that in the regular league or was that the auction, Britt?
The auction. Yeah, so I picked him up off of waivers.
Heck
Yeah, it was wild.
Skoranek has a lot going for him.
All right, Mike wants to know out of Mooney, London, and Foreman, he needs 2 of them, one to start as wide receiver and one in a flex position. Britt. So who would you not start?
I think I'd leave London out. It kind of sucks. I don't really want to play Mooney, but this Chicago's defense is kind of, got clicking on all cylinders over the past few weeks. Atlanta, on the other hand, still refuses to throw the damn ball. I mean, they just can't get it going. London did well-ish last week, but it's still not what you want to see.
He was
And
bailed
then
out by a
Foreman-
touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not the consistent usage. And then, Foreman's still the lead back. Hubbard's questionable. Even when he came back last week, he definitely was not a big part in that offense. So give me Mooney and Foreman.
Joe.
Mooney in London.
Josh.
I'm agreeing with Britt. Give me Mooney and Foreman. It's just like, it's one of those things when you look, if all you're looking at is target share, give me all the Drake London. But last week was his first touchdown since week 1. Like, this offense is just, they want to run. That's really all they want to do because they don't trust Mariota to throw the football, which in turn just makes it very difficult to trust Drake London. Like, I want to trust him. I want to start him. I don't really think there's much consistency with Mooney either, but the way that Fields is playing, he's at least extending plays enough that if he doesn't run, he will throw and will look for Mooney because Kmet doesn't separate very well. Let's just be honest. Foreman's going to see plenty of work, so that at least helps. But I mean, if it's standard, I might lean London over Mooney, but in PPR, give me Mooney over London and keep Foreman as a flex.
Wendy. Ask away.
Do it. Do it.
I mean, unless Joe gives you an answer. Other than that, go ahead.
Do
But
it.
if Joe says anything, don't listen to him.
Do it.
We're
All right.
happy to help.
Anthony wants to know if the Jones family will give Tony Pollard more playing time than Zeke Britt.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Correct.
Jones is basically at this point like bloodbound to Zeke. He gave him that big contract, and to Jones, that is as good as being bound by blood. Pollard, even the offensive coordinators have said that he can't handle the volume of a RB1 role. And so they're just going to keep plowing Zeke up the middle. They're going to design runs for Pollard on the outside. It's going to be very frustrating, as it always has been.
Dang, I hate when a guy has 22 rushes for 115 yards and has 87% of the snaps, but can't handle an RB1 workload. God, don't you just fucking hate that? Oh, and he found the end zone one time and had 3 catches for 13 years. God, don't you hate when he plays 87% of the snaps, is a top 10 running back that week, and just can't handle the workload? God, It's almost like a monkey is their head coach. Jeez,
Yeah.
just look at your fucking Burger
Wow.
King menu, Mike McCarthy, and just fuck up the entire game. 195-0 when you're up 14 points in the fourth quarter.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
You want to know what Mike McCarthy said? He said, "Fuck you, Jerry." That's what he said, because he is a moron. He is so bad. Also, funniest thing, Aaron Rodgers after the game says, "You cannot tell the story of my career without Mike McCarthy." While that is true, I also saw a stat that you have appeared in the same, or you've won the same amount of NFC championships as Rex Grossman. So how does that feel in your career there, Aaron? Because that's gross. That is gross. And I laughed. I laughed at that fact. One of the worst starting quarterbacks in Super Bowl history, Jared Goff, Trent Dilfer included. Rex Grossman has won the same amount of NFC championships as you. Jared Goff has won the same amount of NFC championships as you. Overrated. Garbage player. Shout out Green Bay for throwing 5 times more than they ran the football this past week, when they found out last week, Britt, that if you run the football, maybe you win the fucking game. Oh,
the sad part was they had their offensive lineman back on Thursday and still didn't run the football.
No. Why sit across from the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry running the football the entire time when you yourself could just throw the football with the greatest quarterback of all time, Aaron Rodgers? Jimmy Garoppolo, more NFC championships than you fucking bum. Sorry, Britt. I was in a Packers bar on Sunday, and I feel so bad for you because, oh boy, did I want Green Bay to lose so badly.
Yeah,
badly.
It was heartbreaking. But, I mean, stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean,
exactly. You're right on every account, though, because Jerry Jones, MD, is definitely not going to play Pollard more than it's not happening. So, and for the Brit knows very well. I lived in Dallas for 18 months. You know, you kind of know from the outside, Jerry Jones runs the show. No, this fucker runs the show. He is the director, producer, assistant director, main character. He is everything.
The playwright, the script writer,
merchandise designer. The only thing he handed off to his wife was interior design, which is very sexist. So that's all he did. That's all he did. And granted, Mrs. Jones did a great job with the place. The art, the decor in AT&T Stadium, fantastic. But Jerry runs the show. The coach doesn't appear on 105.3 The Fan. Jerry Jones appears on 105.3 The Fan to talk about the team. Not Mike McCarthy, not Kellen Moore. Jerry Jones. If that doesn't tell you who runs the fucking show there, I don't know what does. This man oversees everything, and he makes the decision on everything. He's the guy that told you the doctors are wrong about Dak Prescott and we're going to rush him back. What fucking medical degree do you have, sir? What do you mean? Jerry Jones is an idiot. Jerry Jones is an idiot. Ugh.
You know, Jerry Jones may be an idiot, but you don't have to when it comes to your personal grooming. Right, Joe?
What a great segue, Faith. Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
That was good.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. Do you not want to read about men shaving their downstairs area? No? It is funny.
I have no personal experience with that, so I figured if we're going to promote a product, it should come from somebody who does.
Well, that is one thing Manscaped does want you to do, is actively use the product to make sure that, you know, you're not saying anything incorrect or something you don't believe about it, which I think is very good. I appreciate that. And obviously, those that listen to the show, I don't know how authentic or candid I've been today, but
you are never anything but authentic and candid.
You know, I'm not gonna bullshit you on anything. Fucking Jamar Chase for Robbie Gould. What are we doing? What are we doing? Holy God!
That's the hold on. That's the equivalent of dropping Manscaped for a Bic disposable razor.
Bam!
Boom!
Love it.
Dive head first off my patio into the 17 inches of snow after I read that comment. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? I mean, Linda would be proud. That's the only person that would be proud.
I don't even think she would sign off on that one.
I don't even know. Yeah.
No.
I don't even think she'd be okay with that.
No, whatever. But yes, Manscaped, use the code Club Fantasy for 20% off, free shipping, manscaped.com. As we already talked about, shave your hog, right? That's the best line I've ever had in my life. I think that was great. It pertained to our guest, who is a female. So it just like I'm not like right. We're all adults and immature at the exact same time. Still feels weird talking about shaving your nether regions with two women on the podcast. That's all
Why
I'm
do you
saying.
think I didn't want to do it?
It just feels strange. That's it.
I'll point this out. So like we were Manscaped was great enough to send us product, and one of those was the perfect package. So it has the lawnmower 4.0, and part of that was the boxer briefs that they offer as well.
Yes,
which are anti-chafing. I actually wore those to work yesterday, and as somebody who's had thunder thighs my entire life, absolutely fantastic.
Wait, hold on,
Loved
Joe.
all
I'm
of
gonna need you to do that again.
Loved all of it.
this is the sound of Josh's thunder dice slapping together.
Yep.
Also, if you don't know, Josh is a bartender at a beach bar
And I move around a
in
lot.
Clearwater. And if you know anything about a beach in Florida, there's a lot of humidity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Chafe up heavy down there.
Mhm.
One thing I did use as well the other day that I do want to talk very highly of. Yes, God, it is so funny. It's ball deodorant. It's so funny. The packaging is hilarious. The way the directions they tell you on how to use the product is hilarious because there's just so many wiener jokes. It is so funny. So literally after you shower, you dry off your entire body, and they say make sure that your downstairs area is dried off enough. And it's just a little bit of it's just a little bit of like it's kind of like lotion. You can
Spritz.
cut Nikhil Harry. Nice. Yes. Lee, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Lee, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. So yes. The ball, it's like lotion.
Yeah,
Rub it in the palm of your hand, and you literally just like if you were applying like anti-chafing cream or anything down there, you just do that and then also rub it on your sack. Again, that's what they say. It's what they say. It just feels weird, but it's so funny. But you rub it on your sack, and just like I was like, okay, it's gonna feel like comfortable, and it's not gonna feel like it's chafing. One, it feels comfortable. It smells so fucking good. It smells like honestly like a men's like top of the line cologne. It smells amazing.
Are people close enough to smell it to tell you that it smells amazing?
No, I was there in the bathroom alone doing it. I was like, oh my God, this smells great. So anytime I go out now and someone says, oh my God, do you have cologne? And I'm like, no, I just rub deodorant on my balls. What do you mean? Go to manscaped.com, Club Fantasies, the promo code, 20% off to
Maggie, I just want to say that I love you and you were a saint.
Listen, I think I said this on Wednesday too. When I first saw Manscaped as a brand, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was a fantastic thing. I thought the commercials were funny. And I'm like, okay, how good can the product be? I never tried it. And I was super excited to actually try it now. And it's legit. And all that stuff that they just put on their packaging. Someone who works in marketing, the packaging, how they name everything, A to Z. They thought of literally every little thing you could possibly think of when it comes to a gift for yourself or for someone else. It's just so good from every detail they thought of, the packaging, the box, the instructions.
Oh, the travel bag is legit.
The travel bag, everything. They thought of everything. It's fantastic. So love it.
I mean,
that's okay. You just go to the question.
This conversation isn't titillating.
No.
Clamp wants to know, pick one, Kadarius Toney, DJ Moore, or Rondale Moore. Britt.
This is really tough between Toney and Rondale Moore because Moore does have that really, really primo matchup. But with everybody out in Kansas City, I'm leaning more Toney.
Leaning more Toney. That's funny. Joe.
Yeah, I understand how that sounds after I said it.
I'm subscribed, so just go with that. Joe.
I can't out of sheer principle and not believing in Kadarius Toney, I can't lean Toney, and I have Rondale Moore in a couple leagues, so I am definitely leaning Rondale Moore. I put him in over a couple of guys that, before the season were by far ranked way higher than Rondale Moore. I like Moore a lot this week. Toney's definitely not a bad play. Chargers secondary is just disgustingly awful, but the 49ers secondary was great before the season. They've gotten really injured, so I think Rondale Moore is going to take advantage of it, and he also knows the offense way better than a guy like Kadarius Toney. So that's my other worry.
Josh.
I would rate this Rondale, Kadarius Toney, DJ Moore.
Yeah,
I'm a
correct.
huge Toney guy this week. I think, and honestly, rest of season, Britt, we talked about this when I appeared on Lightning Round on Wednesday. I think Toney is going to be a league winner in this offense. He is tailor-made to do exactly what Andy Reid wants to do, and that scheme plays to get the ball in the hands of his best playmakers, and Toney is one of them. The snap share is a little concerning, though, because he's still ramping up. I don't know if he's going to instantly jump into the 60, 70, 80% range, even with MVS banged up, maybe potentially missing this game. Juju's already been ruled out. I still think they'll work Justin Watson in as well because he's been there and he knows the system. They'll scheme to get Toney open. I just don't know how many opportunities will be there. I think Rondale's going to see a ton of opportunity on Monday night.
Huge.
All right, our last question of the day before we get on about our lives. Trey says, good morning. Good afternoon, Trey.
Hello.
In a full PPR start to Singletary, Zeke, Michael Carter, or Eli Mitchell? Britt.
I think Singletary is a smash this week against Cleveland, so you're going to start him for sure. And I'm a little bit intrigued about Michael Carter. I mean, I think I'm going to lean more towards Mitchell because we did see that he got like 50-50 snaps, but playing from behind potentially against New England just makes me think that he's going to get a ton of targets, but I feel safer with Mitchell, if that makes sense. Joe, what do you think?
Joe.
You were making faces.
Singletary and Eli, yeah. I don't think Carter plays well against New England. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, the Jets don't throw to running backs.
Not often.
So that, like, if they were dump off city to backs, oh god, it is a smash Michael Carter start because they cannot cover running backs out of the backfield. But they don't utilize them. So Singletary and, God, against my will, Elijah Mitchell. I hate it, but Elijah Mitchell. I like Carter in most other weeks, but holy shit, did New England's run defense look good last week? My God, that was like a kryptonite all year. And I mean, again, Deion Jackson and a shitty offensive line, but the Jets' offensive line isn't much better with the injuries they have. So I think they play well. And Zach Wilson also just, God, he sucks against the Patriots. So Singletary, Eli, Zeke's last on the list, which is weird to say.
Yeah,
but Zeke is last on the list.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Michael Carter had 7 targets, 4 catches, 35 yards the last time they played New England.
Really? Okay. He didn't feel that involved. I mean,
No.
they were, again,
he only had 7 carries for 26 yards.
There you go. I was like, they were curb stomping them. So like, that's why it felt one-sided, but okay.
Yeah. For me, Singletary is the obvious one here. He was one of my bold predictions on No Punt Intended this week. I think he's the top 15 play. Of course, that was when I thought it was a snow game. Now that it's not, still like Singletary. If Buffalo can get to Detroit to play this game, let's mind you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, on that note, I saw that I think it was either Rappaport or Schefter that said now that the snow has stopped, or maybe it was somebody else, but they said now that the snow has stopped falling in Buffalo for now, the team is working getting on players out of their homes, and the plane is supposed to leave this afternoon. Whose dumb idea was it to stay in Buffalo knowing this was coming, knowing you had to fly to Detroit? Why didn't you guys get out before?
The NFL didn't make the call to Detroit until after the snow started falling.
Mm-hmm.
So one, that's probably on the NFL. 2, it's an NFL team. They'll find a way to get their fucking ass to Detroit. So all they need is a plowed airstrip, and once they're up in the air, they're fine.
And you too can have a plowed airstrip with Manscaped.
Nice. Nice.
Singletary and Eli, Trey. Those
Just
are your answers.
thinking the same thing. Well done. Okay, so apparently not our last question. This is our last question. I'm saying it now. All right, I just lightning around this last question. Damian Harris or Cortland Sutton at flex, full PPR. Britt,
Sutton all day.
Sutton.
Joe,
Sutton.
Josh.
Sutton.
What?
On
Faith,
that
one.
note,
One quick thing, because the Kadarius Toney question, it makes it more intriguing with Toney, because they could have 3 healthy receivers and they're Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney, and Sky Moore. Those are the 3 healthy receivers. They'd have to pull Amir Smith, Marset, and Marcus Kemp as their receivers off of their practice squad. So at that point, Toney will literally have to play unless Noah Gray is spreading out wide. Kadarius Toney's going to have to play. Yeah. Sorry, Faith. Go ahead.
no, I just you just said spreading out wide, and I'm like, you too wouldn't have to
Guys,
worry about
listen.
that.
Listen, look, we get it. There's so many wiener jokes we can make with everything that we say. All right, just know, for all your wiener needs, manscaped.com. Club Fantasy is the promo code, 20% off free shipping. Plowed airstrip, hog. What else do we say today?
Ball deodorant.
Ball deodorant. Yep. The sack sprucer.
This is that like a Christmas scent?
No,
For sack?
no,
Oh
no.
my
That's
gosh.
that's the Birchwood scent.
Like Joe said earlier, we are all adults yet simultaneously immature.
You never grow up.
That's what we do.
Yep.
Britt, thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
Before
Britt.
we say goodbye, let everybody know where they can find you and
Yeah.
all of your work.
Yeah, you can find me over at Fantasy Alarm. I put out a weekly hot takes article that comes out every Monday after the games. You can find me every Wednesday night on Lightning Round at 9:30 Eastern time. I always get that confused because I'm Central and I always want to say the wrong thing. And then you guys can find me on Tuesday nights for Her Story in the Making. The next episode is on the 29th of this month, and that is at 8:30 Eastern. So check it out.
On the Club
Woohoo.
Fantasy YouTube page.
Yes.
Woo!
So excited for this show. Love it.
Do you have your next guest, Britt?
Almost.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
confirming with
getting
her.
close.
Josh, I wasn't talking to you. It's
Well,
Her
I'm
Yeah.
the one that
Story
books the
Making.
guests.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doesn't
dummy.
matter.
Right.
Fucking
Doesn't matter.
Stupid. God.
Once
Sexist.
again, a man trying to overthrow.
It's all good. No, it's all good.
I don't need you to mansplain for me, Joshua.
She just needs you to go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code Club Fantasy.
I don't need you to
25%.
mansplain. I
Okay.
need you to manscape.
Yeah, okay. All right. End the show. End the show. Hit the fucking video. End the show.
Oh man.
For Club Fantasy FFL, I am at FF_LeapOfFaith. That is at the one Hudsonian. That is at Joe_Zollo. Follow
Bismarck
Joe.
Larks.
Follow the Bismarck Larks.
Yes.
I got you, Joe. Follow Club Fantasy. Follow Women of Fantasy Football at women_FF. Follow everybody. It's a follow party. Good luck this weekend. I hope we were helpful. If you have started sick questions that we didn't get to, hit up Club Fantasy on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Somebody will be more than happy to help you out. On that note, roll that beautiful bean footage, Josh.
Peace out.
Bye, y'all.